Impact of child labor on their social rights. Children are neither the property of their parents nor are they helpless young objects, they have equal status as members of society. But, because children depend on adults for the care and guidance they need to grow to be independent, children sometimes experience childhood abuse. Government actions, or inaction, affect children more severely than any other segment of society. In Egypt, 5.6% of the total number of children are engaged in economic activities or housework. By comparing the rate of child labor between urban and rural areas, it became clear that the child labor rate in rural Upper Egypt was the highest, reaching 8.4% in Upper Egypt and 5.7% in Lower Egypt. The main reason for child labor in Egypt is the low standard of living of families, especially in rural areas, where 88% of working children engage in work to increase the family's income. Minya Governorate has the highest rate of child labor, as they work in various sectors, including agriculture and quarries. In addition to the indirect impact of child labor on children's future, there are direct health consequences that result from their work in the quarries. As working in such conditions leads to physical exhaustion or diseases, including heat exhaustion, due to loss of body fluids and low blood pressure. There are two phenomena associated with the phenomenon of child labor in Minya. The first is the societal acceptance in general of child labor as a strategy to combat poverty and help families. The second is that the child may be forced to work, for fear of stigmatization by his small community, whether a village or a neighborhood in which he lives. Social research also shows that children's early experiences strongly influence their future development. Their development path also determines their contribution to society over the course of their lives. Although the Egyptian government has made a number of efforts to reduce the phenomenon of child labor, combat poverty, and provide education programs for children at risk of joining the labor market, there are a number of challenges that undermine efforts combating the phenomenon, such as the lack of updated and reliable data and statistics, in addition to social tolerance of the phenomenon, especially among law enforcement officials and those responsible for combating the phenomenon. Innocence is Lost Among the Dust initiative recommends lobbying stakeholders and beneficiaries of child labor, and monitoring the global supply chain of products. It also recommends raising awareness and changing stereotypes regarding the issue of child labor, especially in rural southern Egypt, Upper Egypt.